8 o'clock, here we go. Oh, can you shut the heat off?
Yeah, and the music.
Hello and welcome to the show tonight as Jason is taking care of all of the noises in the background. We are getting rolling on an exciting show all about cycling.
All about everything in the world of bikes. We're talking everything bikes tonight.
Yeah.
Bikes, new bikes, bikes with bike parts on them, bike companies that make bikes.
Is your volume on?
On here?
Yep.
Probably.
Yep, Jason left his volume again.
Every time.
5th show in a row.
No.
Oh, you missed one.
There was one where I got it.
It's coming through your stereo. We have audio issues. Now it's coming out of that. It's coming out of every computer in Jason's garage. We've shut off 4 things.
We have so much technology happening. I can't keep it all under control.
Speaking of
Should
technology,
stop starting my whiskey drinking at like 10 a.m.
let's talk about AI.
I love talking about AI. AI is our friend.
So we got a comment last week by B Wagner 6246.
Okay.
Okay, and it said, don't use AI don't use AI for your thumbnails.
What's a thumbnail?
It's when you cut your nail a little, but it's still hanging on, but it's like kind of pulling the skin.
Okay.
It hurts real bad.
AI doesn't have thumbnails.
Oh, well, no, it's actually our YouTube thumbnails.
YouTube, the little picture that shows you.
Yeah, it's a little picture. And you know what? Like, between everything, I actually am going to embrace the absolute terrible job of AI and put it into the world. I'm just for our thumbnails because it's a time capsule of this era. And I love it. There's 2 things that AI can't do. Fingers and eye line. So
Right.
and if you look at our thumbnails, you'll see they also cannot produce a bike.
They're very bad at very bad at making bicycles.
At least the AI I'm using, and it's premium AI that we're using here at Bicycle Therapy because
most premium.
We passed over 16,000 subscribers last week. Just check the comments. You'll see what we got going on. Tons of people tuning in. But I just want to address, we are going to continue using AI for our thumbnails, and we are going to pray that it does a terrible job every time. Because you know what I don't want to do? I don't want to play the thumbnail game.
The thumbnail game is not what we're here for. We're not wasting our time with the thumbnail game. We got better things to do. And AI, like I said, it's our friend, and it's helping us out where we need a little bit of help, and that's coming up with some real good pictures once a week.
Premium.
Most premium, just distilling the entire idea of our whole episode into one image before we've even made the episode, and AI is on it.
Yeah.
And
I also want to be on the bandwagon of AI because it's in every company's earning calls that they have AI technology built in. I don't know how King Soopers doing it, but they're going to put AI in their grocery stores. I think the helmets are going to get AI. Can we show a picture of our AI-generated thumbnails? I don't want to spend too much time on this, but here we go. We're going to cut to the most premium AI thumbnail.
This is from last week here.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to see. It might be kind of hard for you guys to see on there because I can't really zoom in on it here. But if you look right there, that's breaking cycling industry news. We had some suits.
Yeah, I wanted
representing the industry with the capital T, and they represented the industry well as the suits running things.
And I used the prompt, so I put into the little AI generator. I said, breaking site. I literally put in I said create a thumbnail about breaking cycling news, and it came up with like this weird newsroom with messed up faces and bikes that are all not good. and I love it. I laughed my ass off when I saw it.
One of the things about our AI is it's we're not trying to create illusions with what it is and what our show is. Unlike the Glasgow Willy Wonka. Did you hear about Glasgow Willy Wonka?
No, what?
Do yourselves a favor. Google Glasgow Willy Wonka. So, city of Glasgow, Scotland. There was, I forget. I don't even know who it was because I didn't read too much into it. Somebody was trying to put on some Willy Wonka experience for kids, right? And they put out tons of imagery that was all AI based.
Oh, let's cut.
Swap to it here,
Yeah.
and
Look
so
at
they
that.
had. This was what they were promoting, and this is what they ended up with. Children were incredibly sad. They were walking out of the place crying and screaming because it was basically a warehouse with just some junk put up here and there. A single bounce house. People paid good money for this, and felt like they had been kind of lied to about what they were supposed to actually get. And this is like I don't know who's gonna believe that. Like,
can you circle the mouse? Yeah. So one image is made by AI and one image is reality.
Correct.
Yep.
Can you guess which one's which?
And there's a lot of hype in the market about AI, and I want our thumbnails to reflect that because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because
I
don't-
wanna subscribe to this.
I think it's gonna get better. I think AI is definitely it's getting there. It can do amazing things,
Sure.
but it is so hyped. It is like what crypto was 2 years ago.
It's definitely being used in everything now.
It is.
And you can tell. You can.
Yeah.
What is kind of great is right now we're at the point where, I guess there's stuff that's really well done, that it's hard to tell that it's AI nowadays. But that's not most things.
Yeah.
What's great is most regular people, like us, they try to use it. You can totally tell that that's what they're doing, and like obviously we're not hiding the fact that a computer.
We're embracing the fact that it spits out absolute garbage, and we're just going to put that on our thumbnail because we want you to show up for this hour and chat with us.
Yeah.
Jeff Young in the
good.
house. How's it going?
Nice.
What are your thoughts, Jeff Young, about
Yeah,
AI?
let's go. Yeah. Let us know. Are you guys on board? Are we missing? Are we doing things wrong here by leaning into the AI? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think one thing about making art, and I consider this art, is make it what you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make
what we want.
Make it what you want. If you are familiar with Rick Rubin,
I'm not.
he's famous producer of music.
Okay.
He does not play music.
Ah.
He does not know an instrument. He just goes into the recording studio and he's like, I'm going to make what I want.
I see.
Yep.
And cool stuff comes out.
Yeah.
And people are into it. All right.
Tom Petty.
Heard of it?
Geez, I mean, I think Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think he was Run DMC, hip hop, metal. Like he's done it all. Like, just like
Guy knows what's cool.
crazy producer. So I wanted to address that right out of the gate with the AI comment that we should not use it for our thumbnails. And now I'm going to double down.
Place your bets. Double down.
We're
What are we
doubling
doing?
down, dude. We're going
All
to
right.
use 2 thumbnail AIs. I don't know if that's possible, but we're doing it. Next
you
up
might start
is
an AI battle.
so the main point of our show tonight is we're going to talk about pricing, negotiating, marketing.
Yeah. Making deals. Getting deals.
Yeah, should you negotiate on price as a bike shop? That is what we are going to be discussing this evening.
You bring that question up as if that's a question that comes up a lot?
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
it comes up
All the time.
in bike shops.
It comes up every day in bike shops.
And it was one of our comments on our last video. And one of the things
Yep.
that we want to do is foster people asking questions, and then
Right.
we'll make a show about it, and we'll discuss it, and we'll give our 2 cents, and hopefully,
Yeah, because somebody's question, what do you think about bike shops matching prices
yeah,
or negotiating prices? And we got the thoughts.
and specifically matching to online.
Yeah, right.
And so for this show, we're gonna touch a little bit on some industry news because as we were setting up the show, Jason
I blew your mind.
blew my
didn't I?
mind.
I did. I'm
like
here to do
over and over. It was like
Yeah.
a triple orgasm of bicycle news.
Yeah. It's just,
That I felt like we had to report on, like right away, with what's going on in cycling news.
well, what do we want to hit first, my guy?
Right out of the gates, we're gonna go to your favorite direct-to-consumer brand with a made-up Italian name. I'm pretty sure it's a made-up Italian name.
Tommaso?
No,
No, not Tommaso.
Fazzari.
Ah, Pizzari.
No, Tommaso's legit.
They are. Well,
They were from Italy.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Once
It's
upon a time.
It is a real name
30 years.
and a real
34.
Italian word. We're dealing today with what is, we think, because we know much Italian, we think that it was a made-up Italian word. Bike company Fazzari is no more. But
They didn't go out of business.
they're not gone.
They're
They've
not gone.
simply, let's say they've decided to shed some grams.
Yeah.
And in doing so, they've dropped off the Fez and just stuck with Ari as their company name now.
So
A-R-I.
it would be like if I changed my name to what?
Ick.
And you were Owen?
Own.
Own.
Just Own. It's just the O
Yeah.
in the end. Own
Well-
or On. Jace On. You can call
On?
me On.
On. Yeah,
On.
I like that more.
On's
It's very
good. You can be Ick.
Yeah, it's like, man, we're on.
So if you're a bike company and you just feel like you need to freshen things up again, one of the easiest things to do is just drop a couple letters. You got a whole new game.
I
You got a
would
whole new
s-
situation.
I think the vibe is like drop 3 to 4 letters off your name. Like don't go 5. Well, okay, what would Specialized be if they dropped 4 letters off their name? Let's look it up.
This is your
How
asking-
does I
can't
don't even know
imagine
how to spell. We're gonna get into some spelling.
I need pen and paper. Specialized, if we dropped just 4 letters?
Yeah, 4 letters. Iolized?
Iolized.
Iolized. I like it. Or
Ialized.
Ialized.
That sounds like some kind of weird medication that they're going to advertise during the nightly news.
do you suffer from explosions from your bum?
Try Ialized.
ILZ. That's where we're going with this show. So yes, the direct-to-consumer brand
Fizzari is no longer Fizzari. It's just Ari.
Ari.
I think it's Ari.
Ari. Let's take a look at the site.
Why'd they do this? Well, I got an email that says Fizzari is now Ari.
Yep, there we go.
Brackets. Be in the moment.
Be in the moment, guys.
This is only the beginning. Definition. Ari. I don't know what, is this an English word? Because it says definition. Ari. To exist, to be.
Huh. So one of the highest end cinema camera companies is actually named Ari. It's ARRI.
Oh.
And that's a German company. Very German.
Well, I'm going to dictionary.com right now.
Oh.
And we're gonna do some investigative reporting live on the air and see if Ari actually means what they say. Ari. Dictionary.com says no result found for Ari.
Ooh.
So I don't know. New logo is Ari Astra, Ari Star, evolved from F2A, representative of a Peak Mountain River Valley Trail Road. All of the things that you might encounter when you're
Yeah.
not indoors, but in the outdoors, you might encounter any of these things. And therefore they are naming their company. I will say, my experience in working with this company in the past has actually been very good.
You have had
I've never ridden their bikes. I think they're fine. But customer service and support has been great. And even with dealing with me just as an independent bike mechanic, trying to take care of things for customers, they've been rad. They've been quick, reasonable, and knowledgeable and comprehensive about what they had to deal with. So those are things I appreciate. The naming, whatever. You kids have fun with it.
I give them a little bit of crap just because it's a direct-to-consumer brand, but I have that has kind of popped up out of nowhere over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And also in the cycling industry, companies that try to come across as Italian,
Right.
that is a huge cliche in the industry. And so, like, can we just stop doing that? Like,
Well, especially for a company that was originally primarily making, I thought they were mostly known for mountain bikes.
yeah. And they're from Utah.
Yeah.
They're based in Utah. So, like, I'm actually very happy that they have changed their name to Ari.
Yeah.
And they are getting away from the
Yes.
Italian vibes of the road industry.
I like that this little bike here on their page is
Let's take
orange.
a look.
It's pretty. It's a good looking bike. Yeah. I'm going to bring us over there.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Great looking
Smooth.
bike. The new logo is fine, fantastic, looks
Clear.
great. The bike looks good. Kind of looks like an Orbea a little bit. If you're going to ask me, and everybody is,
Yeah.
but who cares? It's probably perfectly fine. So go buy yourself an Ari if you want to, and they have them. What else has been going on?
So
Nick,
in other news,
world.
in the
We're
in the
gonna
world
close
of
the Ari tab, we're done.
cycling,
We're done
some new bikes came out.
New bikes.
New bikes.
I'm always excited about new bikes. What kind of new bikes?
What if you wanted to go on an adventure,
I always want to go on adventures.
but you want to go twice as fast with half the effort?
Okay. You're getting my attention. Where am I at on this adventure?
You're on strictly gravel.
City Park. Gravel.
Yeah. This is
Gravel
strictly
road.
gravel.
Okay.
Gravel road.
Okay.
You're heading out?
I've ridden a bicycle on a gravel road or two.
You want a bike that can take you on the gravel.
Yes, I have one.
It has suspenders,
Ooh,
front suspenders.
Interesting. So, but that seems to imply that I might be on perhaps more than gravel.
Maybe. If you're feeling
All right.
dangerous. It's got suspenders. It's got a battery.
It's got an engine.
It's got a powered engine. It's got a battery. It's got suspenders. It has drop bars.
Starting to tell me this has a lot going on. I'm having a hard time imagining what this contraption would even look like.
Oh, should we show the people?
You guys want to see what such a wonderful contraption, dreamy machine is going to look like? Well, thanks to our friends at Salsa Cycles. Do they go by Salsa Cycles still? Yeah, Salsa
Yep.
Cycles. They've introduced a line of bikes called the Tributary. Again, a kind of weird name because it's very water oriented, and normally
What is a tributary?
it's part of it's like a subset of a river,
Okay.
right? It's like
Well,
it's a piece of water that feeds into a river.
Okay.
It's like a
Okay.
smaller version of it,
it's coming back to me. You know, we all learned tonight.
right?
We all learned.
A piece of water. I'm a fucking geologist here, hydrologist, all of it. So I don't understand the name because, like, normally you're trying to avoid riding bicycles in water.
They want
and
you
they
to ride
named
this.
it.
They actually put a battery so you can ride in
And go
water.
back to no. I'm just gonna have to keep dictionary.com open because Tributary. again, more investigative journalism for you.
What's the
A
origin?
stream that flows into a larger stream or body of water. Yeah, it's completely water oriented, and their bicycle is named.
What's the origin of that
thusly.
word? Can you give me the origin?
The origin? Can you use it in a sentence?
Yep.
I saw the tributary. Sorry, Google Ads just went.
They got to pay for the.
for the dictionary.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Does it give
Origin.
you
1325 to 75. Middle English.
Middle English?
Latin tributarius, of tribute, one who pays tribute. So the little body of water is paying its resources to the larger body via the small stream.
Oh, a tributary.
A tributary.
Huh. That is a weird
Y'all
bicycle name.
learning tonight.
I love that it's from Middle English. Kind of
Yeah.
like Middle Earth.
Very much. Yeah. I don't think they're the same.
No.
But they speak Middle English in Middle Earth because that's how it should be.
Next up, so yes,
They came up with this bike. It's everything, man. It's an e-bike. It's a drop bar bike. It's a bike with 29 by up to 2.6-inch tires.
Jesus.
So I feel like that's beyond gravel. Gravel beyond. But not mountain biking because...
Do you think Salsa's getting away from their roots?
Or are they digging into them at this point?
Because, like, I don't know about you, but this kind of feels like it's
What do you think of when you think of Salsa historic in the past? What comes to your mind?
Well, first, not aluminum right out of the gate.
Fair, yeah, steel.
More steel.
Yeah.
Kind of a little more aligned on the high-end, like, mountain steel and carbon. But, like, this is an aluminum frame. I don't know if
it's a very fat aluminum frame.
Yeah.
Very fat tires, very wide handlebars. This one has 120 mil suspension fork on it, which
let's cut to it.
And a dropper post. So there's a lot going on here. I don't love it.
No,
I think it's hideous. I do question who the customer is. You tried to tell me who they are, but you're a marketing guru and I'm not. So
it's definitely more geared towards.
Who is? If you guys are on and you can see this fucking monstrosity, who's this for? Is it for you? Who's it for? Because I really like.
Jeff Young, is this for CPAs? Give us the down low.
Consultants.
Who's this bike for, or is this more of a dentist chair?
The dentist chair.
Is it a dentist chair? Because
they're marketing. They're like videos of people that they show riding it are like young dudes who they try to make it look like they're shredding. And this seems to be what every company's trying to do with gravel bikes across the board. If you see advertising for a gravel bike, there's never just like somebody riding down a long gravel road in Kansas. No, they're like turning and like hitting the brakes and skidding, or they're jumping, kind of jumping on one. They're always trying to show that people are like really killing it on these bikes, and like nobody is. Nobody. I've got the facts.
So, I think the marketing, it feels like it's geared towards showing off younger people having fun, and I think they're trying to get older people to say, "Hey, I want to have fun like young people." It's like every alcohol commercial in the summer shows off young people having fun by the pool. Look up alcohol commercials. They're gonna
or don't.
Yeah, and it's just like it's not like an old depressing guy sitting on a couch like 100 pounds overweight drinking freaking Jack. It's everybody's by the pool having fun and they're all under 30. So let's just get real with who's buying this bike. Jeff Young is buying. Jeff, are you in? He said he'd buy it. Dude, he'll buy it. He's got the money.
I got people messaging me through the phone about the show.
Is there something wrong?
No. Somebody who's
tributary.
He's agreed to do an event ride with me on these bikes. So
is this the salsa rep? Do they have those?
Right? I don't know if they do. Probably, maybe.
I think another job that will be lost to AI will be reps.
Bike sales reps?
Yep.
Sure.
But yeah, the marketing is just kind of weird and funny. Like it shows people in the mountains. Let's pull up the video. Let's show.
In the middle of nowhere. Tell me when to hit play.
You're up, dude.
Like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Salsa Cycles Electric.
Yep.
Okay. Charge your adventure. Well, yeah, before you ride, obviously you need to charge your bike.
Yep. Like big mountains.
The middle of nowhere. Dude's got a bike packing bag.
Yeah, but how long of a ride are you going on?
How far are you getting bike packing with an electric battery-powered motor?
Yeah,
I need the answers because it doesn't make sense to me.
50 miles? Are you going 50 miles?
So I don't know what these things are supposed to get anymore. When I had my e-cargo bike, I'd get maybe 40 miles.
Stuff is getting
and sure stuff's better. That was a few
40
years ago.
to 50 miles.
I don't see so.
But
where are you going, and what are you backpacking on with this bike? That makes it necessary. Like I said,
so
if it's you, let me know.
We might not be a fan of this bike. I don't think it's the best bike Salsa has come out with, and especially looks. Like they've also been known for like kind of having elegant bikes with interesting designs.
They've had pretty clean looking bikes for quite a while. Even their full suspension carbon mountain bikes were decently looking bikes. This looks like somebody was incredibly late in getting their homework done, and like the Chinese aluminum bike manufacturing company was like, "We need your designs like in the morning."
Do you want to just use the
some
ones
guy
we have?
It's like, well, this was our first drawing, and they're like, "Fine, it'll do. We'll make it." And now you too can own somebody's late night homework.
Next subject. Before we rag on it too long, because we do have a full show and we're halfway through. The last thing we're going to talk about is the moneymaker, as they say. Which may not be a moneymaker because it's extremely expensive.
It's only for the moneymakers.
Yes, it is definitely a high-end fork.
The most high-end suspension fork.
Let's take a look.
Made.
Came out, this week?
This week,
the new
week,
Push 9.1 inverted fork.
Yeah.
Looks cool. I think it looks
rad. I mean, thing is super cool. Obviously, Push, if they made a fork, it was going to look great.
Yeah, and they spent a lot of time on it.
All their stuff has always had like incredibly solid like form factor. Gorgeous. And this thing's rad. Looks amazing. I have not read about the technical details of it. This is not the show for that. If you want to do that, there's plenty of other places where you can go read that information. What we're here to tell you is a company in Colorado is making a new suspension fork, and it costs $2,600 American dollars. I think that might be the most expensive fork I've seen.
Yes.
So
that's pretty pricey.
Back to the same question. Who's this for?
I feel like Tesla owners. This is definitely a Tesla fork.
Definitely a Tesla fork.
Like this is going to go on a Model X for sure.
This is for people who know like what buying.
It's not for me.
Who knows what buying bonds are?
I think maybe they are on the board of directors.
This is for people who understand what a soft landing is.
Yeah. This is not oh gosh, what is the RockShox fork that still has chrome stanchions?
Chrome?
Yeah.
RockShox?
Yeah, RockShox still maybe I'm a little outdated on this one.
Wasn't it Manitou?
No, RockShox had a fork up until a couple years ago that still had chrome. And like some people just ran that.
Just like the Judy TK and stuff like that? Like the cheap ones?
No, it was like a free ride fork.
Free ride fork.
Still had chrome. It was their base level. It was single crown.
Somebody's got to remember for us because I don't remember.
Yeah. And that fork, like, people would still run on that. One, because chrome is very slick, very dent resistant. You could actually swap out and put the nicer damper in it and get a good fork. It's heavy because it's steel stanchion stanchions.
That one's heavy too. Yeah.
But
somebody said we should put the Push fork on the tributary. Sounds like a marriage made in heaven.
Would it be
if you ask me?
The Pushutary?
The Pushutary.
Zazinga!
I like it. I'm just glad that Push was around to come out with something new to give us something cool to talk about because it's incredibly expensive. It has all kinds of dials and fun stuff on it. It'll do things. And
ooh, let's get a close up on that fork. Actually, it does slide down right there. So you can pull the dropouts off the bottom with the brake.
You can pull the whole bottom off.
That's kind of cool.
Sure.
It's made in Colorado.
Also cool.
It's gonna stimulate the local economy.
Mm-hmm.
But the downside.
Curtis says it's the domain.
Yeah, domain. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. See? You're right. I couldn't remember that either. I haven't thought about the domain in forever. That one was brought back like a core memory on you.
Dude, tapered head tube, single crown. Like, I think they did a dual crown, but like, it's just to say, like, there's this balance between like a price, because this is expensive.
Yeah.
And also being able to hold up. Like, is this going to hold up?
Probably, yeah.
I have no doubt it's going to work fantastic.
Right.
But for Joey, the free rider, who's going to be hucking the nar and blowing this up, is it going to hold up? Is it going to be...
Obviously, time will tell. However, because they make everything themselves, anything that breaks can be individually repaired and replaced on these. That's what's so cool. That's what's always been so great about their rear shocks, is like everything can be worked on, because they either have it because they're still making it, or they can like remake the part that they need to make because they've made it themselves. So they're very cool.
Unlike other brands where they cycle everything out every 3 to 5 years.
3 years, right? Yeah, it's not. They're not going to say in 3 years, oh well, we don't have service parts for that.
Yeah, we made the stanchions 2 millimeters bigger, and you can't buy seal kits anymore.
So now you need to buy a new one. Correct.
So upgrade, please.
Yep. Always upgrade, please. So that pretty much covers that news. We got one more item if you're
guys, we got to show you this.
Right, let me find the best photo. So you're gonna have to fill some time for a second here.
This has just come up. This, if you haven't seen this yet, I hope you're ready, because
we've said before, we're not here to talk about bike racing necessarily. There's plenty of places where you can go argue about bike racing, especially road bike racing, on the internet. I like to watch road bike racing.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun. It's great.
mean,
but
I don't hate it, but I'm not like, oh my god, I'm not in the know. I would say.
I'll watch it every day. So this week,
guys,
here we go.
Okay, now I wanna open this up with: have you ever wanted to look more like a salamander?
A little bit.
All right. So
What
here
would
it is.
you do if you wanted to look a little bit more like a salamander? Well, you would join Team Visma Lisa Bike, and you would get one of their Giro, I don't know what the name of the helmet is, Aero something or other helmets. Sorry. There you go.
It looks like a salamander.
It looks like they cut off the front of a shark's head and shoved it onto the front of a normal helmet or a normal time trial helmet and made it a bike helmet. It doesn't look as obscenely weird when they're in their time trial position. However, it's insane. It's ridiculous. But all the time trial stuff from professional road bike racing is getting out of control. You got this one up? Oh no, things are happening. Sorry, guys. Technical issues?
I think we're good.
We're good? All right. So I got one photo here just of 4 different helmets from a time trial in, what is this, Paris, Nice, so in France, this morning from these 4 different companies. So if you ever want to get into time trial racing, this is what you have to get into.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
I'm for it. I'm 100% for it, because I think time trialing is like not a sport you just go do, right?
What's the pink one look like? Like, honestly, what does the pink helmet look like?
It looks like, you know those rubber domes that you invert and stick on your finger and then it boings off really fast?
No. What does that helmet look like? People, what does that helmet, I'm going to put it up on the stream, the pink helmet look like? Come on, let's be honest with ourselves.
Oh, you know what it looks like.
All right. I'm not going to say it just because of YouTube rules.
All right. What are you going to do? You know.
Come on, dude.
Come on. I know. I'm hoping you're going where I'm going. You know, I don't know what his name is.
Richard.
Richard. That's right.
Richard Fitzwell.
Can we pull it up?
Oh.
No. All right. Look
What
it
are
up
we pulling up?
yourselves. Richard Fitzwell.
Okay, so yeah. Time trial helmets are still ridiculous.
It's getting more ridiculous, and it's great. I'm here. Oh, yeah. Somebody's got him up here. There you go.
Oh,
So.
God. Seriously?
So,
Jesus. Well, that's a time trial helmet. I didn't realize that.
and that's about as into time trialing and road bike racing we're going to get around here.
Fantastic. So let's jump in.
Speaking of racing bikes, I'm on the race team.
Oh.
So, you guys have like a deal for the race team? Like,
What? You want to be part of our race team?
well, I'm already like I was on like another team, right? And we get a deal at one of these other shops, but they're kind of on the other side of town. So I just wondered if you would like match the same deal that I get, so I don't have to like go all the way over to them.
Oh, but you're on our team?
Oh, it's a different team, but
You're on, and then
but
you
like
wanna,
but since
Do you
I come
wear
since
our-
I come here more often because I live nearby, I figured I could give you guys like a shout out, like to some of the other team members, get like if you just maybe match the same deal that I get at the other shop, that'd be cool.
do you wear a shop jersey?
Well, I mean, I wear theirs.
Would you be willing to wear our shop jersey?
Well, I mean, do you have like a team?
Yes.
But I mean, I kind of already signed up for this other one. They're bigger. They're kind of cooler. Like one of their riders won states last year, so they're kind of the one I want to stick around with.
Okay.
So you guys gonna hook it up?
What do you need?
I just need a new frame. I could just get a deal in like the frame.
Like what type of deal?
Well, we get like 20% off.
20 for a team deal? 20% off?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see this team deal. And we only give deals to people who wear our shop jersey.
Well, I know that is on around.
You want to speak to the manager?
Well, I thought he was the owner.
Oh, you
Like
you
I know
dropped the big O on
know,
me.
I know on, and I was just, you could just check with him.
Oh God. Oh no, you want to talk to the owner? You know the owner. Do you know the owner? Do you know the owner?
Yeah,
You know the
I mean,
owner?
a little bit. Yeah,
He knows the owner.
He was like at one of the races we went to, and we were chatting.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah,
And
you
you
own
were-
the bike shop that's by my house. That's cool. So, kind of know.
Okay, I gotta go answer the phone. I'll be back. I'll page him for you. Can I
Guys.
page him? Can I page the shop owner?
You got his beeper on him?
He's got something on him.
Uh,
He's the shop owner. He makes the deals.
he's the deal maker.
Yeah, he is the deal maker, dude. All right. Well, thank you for our
Do bike shops match prices? That's the question.
should you negotiate with terrorists?
I mean, if it's in your best interest, always negotiate.
Yeah, I have a 3-year-old. I have to negotiate constantly.
Why does this come up all the time? Why are there so many different ways for people to try to negotiate lower prices at bike shops? And why does it always seem to happen? And do these same people negotiate these prices in other businesses that they go to?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that there are types of customers,
Okay.
and I'm gonna have a touch more, but not too much.
Touch.
I think it's a many layer question. I think it's a many layer
Yeah.
deal. I think it's partially what the shop puts out there, who they are. I think it's partially the industry.
Okay.
I think it's partially how you set yourself up to deal with those questions.
What are some of the different ways that people ask for deals? We covered one just now.
I'm on the team.
Team deal guy, or guy who claims to know the owner or the manager.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do some races, and
That person is that's kind of one of the worst because they're trying to get a deal for almost nothing in return.
yeah.
Like just knowing who the owner is not grounds for getting a reduction in price.
That same thing was happening before social media.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like, hey, I have 15,000 followers and I'm gonna give you all this exposure. Like that was happening when I started in shops in 2020.
2020?
Yeah.
2020.
Year 2000. Sorry, it is 2024.
2020
right?
was like
2 years ago.
ago.
Yeah. No, the year 2000. Jennifer Lopez.
The year 2000.
It was the
Y2K. Yeah,
the
when
millennials.
all the computers broke.
Yeah, when banking failed us.
Yeah.
So in the year 2000, I should just say 1999.
Yeah,
'cause
the
then
late
I won't
1900s.
confuse myself.
Yeah. Sure.
The late 1900s. This debate has been going on.
Yeah.
In shops, and the racer. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that. Our shop did group rides, and so we would get like this huge rush of people on Tuesday or Wednesday night when we did the group rides, and they had to buy stuff real quick and get out, and they're like, oh, well, I know Kevin the owner, and I'm like he usually gives me a discount, and you're like, oh, okay,
Sure he does. Yeah.
yeah, and
Because Kevin's just giving out money.
and then we would get people that were like, I'm on the team, and like, okay, what team? And yeah. And you know what? Like, you're not getting the shop this massive amount of exposure. You're just not.
No, you're not. Yeah, doing anything for them.
You know, like word of mouth, but we would have people drive from the other side of town and come in, and it's just not. Like, just ask, like, hey, can I get a 10% discount?
Right.
And then I say no. And then move on.
All right, what is the situation in which you would say yes? For me, it usually would be if I knew it was like a high item that's marked up pretty well already, then I know I've gotten a good price on. And this customer has been already a customer kind of in and out. I might. But I'm, as most of my customers know, in spite of being a cranky bike mechanic, I'm way too nice when it comes to some of this stuff.
Ooh, Team Rude Boy is the worst, apparently.
Team Ruddy Boy? Ruddy Boy?
Red Boy?
Well, I do ask for discounts in the drive-thru.
Yeah, and like, I think it's how you set yourself up as a shop, because there are shops that are the deal-making shop. Like, the sale sign never goes off.
Sure. I never had a sale sign. We would have when I had the store. Probably the only sales I had was in the late fall. We would have our garage sale where we just basically tried to unload just like stuff that got ordered wrong, stuff that got left around, just trying to get rid of junk basically. But also it was an excuse to have a party, have all our friends in the shop and hang out for a few hours.
Yeah.
So that's how we did sales.
There are shops that will
huh?
wheel and deal, and they want to move volume, and they get better deals by moving volume. And I think you have to establish that. One, either do you want to have that type of shop, or two, do you want to work for that type of shop? I mean, that can be fun to like be able to sell stuff and move stuff and work in an environment like that. At Salvagetti that I worked at.
Salvagetti, kind of like Fazzotti. Man, if only Salvagetti had sold Fazzotti, man, it'd be magical.
Dude, so Salvagetti was making fun of Italian cycling.
Were they?
100%. Because it's salvage with a TTI on the end.
Well, I knew it was that. But I thought it was because when initially started, they were sort of selling repurposed like bikes as like fixies and single speeds and stuff. So they were bikes that were sort of salvaged.
Yeah, it was a little bit before the fixie craze that he got into it, and then like
I think we could get the owner here at some point and
yeah, Scott.
And
I
drill him
texted
on this.
Scott. I texted him. I said, "Watch the show
we
tonight."
need to get the details of the timeline because
He wasn't so much into the fixed thing. It was just getting like really good classic steel road bikes, and it was 100% making fun of the Italian like prestige.
So
another thing about the Italian thing is most of those heritage brands have moved all of their manufacturing to China or Taiwan,
sure,
and are not what they used to be.
Sure.
And so like, dude, Panarello, like some of those classic brands that charge a premium, are not hand-built super premium road racing frames.
And it's a whole separate conversation, but an argument can be made that a hand-built carbon frame is not necessarily better than a frame built by a large carbon manufacturer in an Asian market, because they have money, resources, and expertise and experience in making that stuff. So there are companies, whole separate thing.
Whole other thing.
We need to get the Salvagetti story nailed down at some point.
But that was where were we going? Are you going to be a shop that moves volume?
Steve wants to know if we can start over. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Tonight we're talking about how little Steve is mountain biking this year.
Oh, is Steve? I haven't met Steve.
Steve has not been mountain biking
Woo!
nearly enough. He claimed to have been sick, but I think he's been sick.
Yeah, little brown bottle flu.
Yeah, so.
When I start to drink, my neck gets really red. I've noticed that on the stream.
That's good to know.
Yeah. I also, has Steve ever asked you for a discount?
No.
All right, he's a
not
good man.
Directly.
I'm not, and so like starting this conversation off.
He has gone when I've told him how much something costs, but that's when I know I'm doing good.
Yeah. So like, if you're looking to work in a shop or start a shop, what do you want to be?
Right.
Like, do you want to be a community-driven shop, or do you want to be a sales commodity broker, a broker of bike parts?
Yeah.
There's a place called the Bicycle Broker. I don't know if they're still open, but
I think they are.
Yeah.
I don't know them, but they definitely seem like they've tried to push a lot of volume, and because they kind of started with.
They were big sale, like
similarly with some like lower end like urban bikes and stuff like that, and then because I know that they took over Felt Bicycles after I closed my store, but that was also when Felt Bicycles started to go downhill. Anyway.
So yeah, like what type of shop do you want to be a part of? Selling stuff can be exciting, and like, oh, I closed this, I did this custom build, and I've definitely gotten into it a bit. One thing I wanted to cover is talking about like learning how to be decent at sales, like with this, and should you negotiate, like with kind of in this.
Right.
I lost kind of my train of thought there. Sorry, guys.
So This is kind of what I was saying. Where like I think you perhaps are a little bit more. You have a little bit more of a natural inclination to sort of argue back and negotiate on something when it comes to prices with people like this. Me, I always struggled with it. If people asked like really directly, I was so bad at like actually saying no.
That's a tactic.
Is it? And maybe I'm a tactician and I didn't know it.
No, they're using a tactic on you.
Yeah, because they know I'm.
Yeah, if you make the situation uncomfortable, that's a negotiation tactic.
Well,
and that's what I've had. I've had a hard time with it because when people put you in that uncomfortable position, what is it?
Okay, this is great. This is what I love about all of it. A bike shop owner, I'm not going to reveal who they are, in response to my Facebook story, should local bike shops price match with online stores? He says to me, sure, fuck it, we'll just go out of business. Which, okay, this is what everybody needs to know. Why would matching online prices equate with going out of business?
There are several reasons, and I'd love to talk about it.
Go.
Yeah.
Give me
Actually,
so many. Give me as many as you got.
Well, one big thing, and Shimano's tried to put the kibosh on it, was overseas, when a company would make a run of bikes, they would have leftovers of like Shimano XT cranksets or Shimano.
Leftovers are things you normally want.
What?
You normally want leftovers.
Yeah, for lunch the next day.
Correct.
But in this situation, they would have 100 sets of cranks left, and they would
they would just let like bike shops have them.
No,
Oh,
they would make deals with certain online retailers. Chain reaction. To sell the they would
keep talking. I'm going to respond to this person.
They would unload it at an online retailer, and then at a bike shop we would go look, or a customer would come in and say, "Hey, can you match this price?" And it's literally below our cost, below even if you did like a bulk purchase. So like XT cranks for a long time, it would be better for me as a bike shop employee to just go buy it online. It's cheaper than to try to employee purchase it. How does that make sense? And it's because factories would, in the industry, there are factories that assemble bikes. All they do is do assembly. Yeah. So they get everything to come in. And this is a little bit of insider info. So whatever country is exporting at a certain rate, they're going to collect all the items and ship it to that country. So like if Cambodia has better terms to ship to the US, companies are going to go to Cambodia or Malaysia. And this is a very rudimentary explanation, but they're going to all go to there. But then that factory gets components left over, and then that factory goes, hey, we'll sell you this. They don't even come in boxes or packaging. Right. They're just in a plastic bag. Yep. And they sell them to an online broker, and then that online broker sells them for substantially less than a bike shop.
Yep. For pretty much, I don't know exactly how or when things changed, but for pretty much the entire time that I had my retail store from 2012 to 2019, almost everything from Shimano was cheaper or was being sold online for about the same cost as what I could get it for as a dealer.
Yeah.
If not cheaper.
So like a set of XT cranks would be like $100 more at a bike shop.
Right.
Because
and that's where people would come in and be like, why are your prices so high? Why is it so expensive?
Yeah, and so this is a big thing, and I'm glad we're talking about this because people on the retail side have no idea. Like, bike shops can't get this deal. This is like a backdoor, like...
I don't know if this is the right term, but I feel, isn't this what they called the gray market?
Yeah.
That's what I heard people call it, was the gray market. Like, we didn't know... Like, it was sort of... It was allowed and it was legal, but it was, like, really shouldn't have ever happened. But it happened for years.
And, I mean, I can't think of a time that it up until recently, so recently Shimano has gone dealer direct. Like you can't get Shimano components from a lot of what you could get like distributors.
Yeah.
Now you have to go directly to Shimano to try to fix this issue.
Which is great.
Which hopefully has worked.
Right.
That happened when I was kind of getting out of the working at bike shops.
Yeah.
But it's also led to some other issues with
Yeah,
supply.
Shimano lately has been fantastic for
Okay.
dealing, like having. The only way that people are selling it discounted is if they are in the situation where they're overstocked and they have to get rid of it, and they're basically going to sell it for what they can. But it's not massively below like a normal dealer cost.
Yeah.
So it's been for me like pretty much where people are like, oh well, I can either order it, ship it to me, whatever, or I either have it or I get it pretty quick and put it straight on their bike. So there's a lot of not having to worry about it.
And I think there's people who try to get stuff below MSRP, but MSRP is there so everybody can make a living along the line.
Isn't that what we want? Don't we want everyone to make a living?
And I'm not like, I am a deal getter. I love getting deals.
Yeah.
But I also like understand that there are different deals to be had that don't involve going into a bike shop and haggling them about prices and saying, my biggest pet peeve is when people go into the shop and show you an online thing and say, but they can do it cheaper. You answered your own question.
Then that's where you buy it.
You answered the question.
Well, because their action in that is tipping their hand to the fact that they know that you probably have it in stock. Hopefully, maybe have it in stock. We're going to do another episode about why and why not bike shops don't have stuff in stock. This is part of it because everybody can just get it cheaper online. So why would you have
delivered it for like either free shipping,
either free shipping if it's $50 or more, which
and get it in 2 days.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you?
Yeah. There's all kinds of other stuff as to why bike shops don't have stuff in stock. But in this case, if they're like, if you do, or you can get it from, let's say, your local supplier in 1 to 2 days, they're showing the fact that there is an implied convenience in you doing it for them. Because there's the other issue that comes into play, which is what? I will tell you.
Tell me.
I will tell you.
Tell me.
How often are they actually looking at the correct part?
Or
the customer might be right. Is how that whole saying needs to go in the bike world. Generally, they might not be. So what happens a lot of times in these cases is so part of what you're providing to a customer as a bike shop or as a mechanic or hopefully somebody who knows what they're doing is knowing whether or not the thing that they're looking at is actually the right thing for what they need. Because this is what happens all the time. They're like, oh, will you match the price? And it's like, well, that's actually the wrong part.
A good example was back in the day when there used to be front derailleurs.
Yes.
Clamp size.
Right? Yeah. Or if there's a clamp at all. Yeah.
Or is there a clamp at all? Does it pull from the top? Does it pull from the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, front derailleurs always got wrong. Like people would order a kit and always get the front derailleur wrong.
Yeah.
Because
always.
there were
Every
9 different options of front derailleurs.
And back then when it came to front derailleurs, the general rule was if it's a good deal, probably is not the one you need.
It's the one they sell the least of and are stuck with inventory.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, the customer's always right. Customer might be right.
So,
not necessarily.
My thing is like, dude, don't go... Like, I feel like people... What it felt like to me is people would go in the bike shop to, like, rub it in their face that they could get a better deal online.
Oh, yeah, that probably happens. Yeah.
And like, they're like, well, I could get it for this. And, like, we'll go buy it there. And
yeah, fine.
I had multiple, like, bosses I worked for that own the bike shop that were like, yeah, go buy it there. Why are you wasting our time? Just go buy it online.
Right.
If you want us to install it, we're here for you.
Yeah, you're right. They might be rubbing it in your face, and there's also sometimes an implicit accusation that you're overcharging.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, bike shops are not overcharging. If you're charging MSRP,
You
that's
can't
fine.
overcharge.
Yeah,
Because you
Right.
can just report, like, if a shop is charging more than MSRP,
which they're allowed to do.
are they?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was in the dealer
Oh
agreement.
yeah, you can do that. You can
Okay.
charge as high a price as you want.
You just can't go below MSRP.
Right.
See, I learned. I thought that there was like a range you had to stay in.
But sort of the implication is like, why would you advertise it for $10 more?
Yeah. But then you say $10 off, and then you get.
Which does lead into another question, another like whole scenario where everybody has advertised prices now. So like every bike shop, especially if they're a retail store, is under this compulsion to have their inventory in an online store,
Yeah.
right? And I was there too, and we did it once upon a time. Curtis Cole was employed partly to keep our inventory accurate with what was on the online store. So then people could
Jesus.
be like, oh, yeah.
So you had to change prices like all the time
I
because
mean,
they fluctuate.
if stuff would change, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And you can't go below MSRP in a bike shop. Your dealer agreement is it has to be what? You have to have it in
that's
inventory.
why there's also what's called MAP, right? Advertised price.
Okay, yep.
Manufacturer's advertised price. So, you can't, but you could post it for more, but like, why would you? So, but you just can't post it for less. So,
Oh, you live in Alaska. You're the one bike shop in Anchorage.
Yeah.
I don't know how many bike shops are in Anchorage, but
I don't know. It's a good question.
we could Google it. No,
Someone
no.
Google it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the point is that what was the point?
What was the point?
What was
I
the
don't know. I
point?
kind of lost the
A
train
little.
too.
I got a little tipsy.
That'll happen.
But there are rules about pricing for bike shops, and I think our point was that people kind of like come in and try to stick it to you every once in a while.
Right, or
Because you're
imply
just-
that like, hey, you're charging too much because this place is cheaper, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, these are entirely different businesses.
Yeah.
Me here now, with this or with the immediate knowledge to inform you as to whether or not it's the right one, because that's what would happen as well. It's kind of where I was going with the original comment was, they might have the wrong product, and then you'd be like, oh, well, that's wrong. Then what happens next?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, well, which one's the right one? And they want your information, your knowledge, so that they can then Google and look up the correct one. So they're stealing
They're mining.
they're stealing your brain.
They're mining
stuff,
your knowledge.
and then they're using it for themselves.
Yeah, and that
And
would
then they're coming back and sticking you with it, and being like, look. Like,
I mean,
well,
I literally
the
would
value-
have people show me their phones and be like, well, look at this. And
Right.
it's like, all right, man, like, I'm just doing what, like, we agreed with the manufacturer. Like, we agreed as a bike shop to sell it at this price.
Right.
And
Well,
we can
because-
charge more. We could
Yes.
hike it up
Yeah.
and give you 10%
But
off.
where does these prices come from? They come from
Yeah.
the need for everybody to make their living.
Yeah, I think that's...
The guy running the shop, because those
He
oil
has to make a little
changes
bit?
in the Ferrari, the oil changes for the Ferrari are expensive.
Well, let's all be honest.
And the shop owner's got to be able to pay for those.
Do you
So-
know what type of car Jason drives?
Oh, we're gonna
Pontiac Fiero.
Fiero.
Fiero. Two-door Pontiac
What
Fiero.
else? What else would just a fiery ginger drive than a Fiero?
Dude.
Dude, I need one. I really do. I would drive the shit out
But
of a Fiero.
there are rules that bike shops have to follow for pricing. And they're not trying to, like, hose people on pricing. And that's like a big point of this whole show. It's like there's MSRP that's set by Shimano,
Yeah.
but then this third party distributor out of China or Taiwan is selling them to another person for
whatever in the
half
UK,
the price.
who has a warehouse in the US.
Who says, hey, we're
Which,
going to ship
man,
you a container of
Some
components.
smart dudes out there like figuring out all these points. I am not that shrewd. I'm just like, did I do a good job on your bike? Will you pay me enough money? Great, thank you. And then there's these people playing these fucking games and
International global
they're
trade
playing
games.
chess, and I'm like, not shooting marbles with rocks. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's tariffs involved. There's importing, exporting. So there's a couple things going on. So for years, Shimano, like, I didn't see a shop carry Shimano cranks because they were. What was the point? What like we can't sell that.
Two-pronged point. One is cost. The other is variation, which again is another episode.
Yeah.
Too many crank lengths, too many spindle lengths, too many chainring variations.
Yeah.
The like exponential growth of all of that possible crank variation makes it impossible to keep it in stock.
Let's read some comments here.
Well, Tim's with us.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you're coming in trying to haggle an internet price, not going to give you the time. Go.
There's two other things with that I want to say.
What's one?
Is time of season. If you're coming in middle of summer, in prime season, you're not getting discount prices. Two is if it's premium products. If you're buying NV rims, most premium products, you get no discount.
Not for you.
XTR, NV rims. Like,
right.
If you're coming in, if you're trying to be baller on a budget, what I say to that person is, well, we have the XT derailleur. Like, you can get the XT derailleur. It's gonna do the same job. It's gonna be 30 grams heavier. Maybe 27 grams heavier.
When I had my store...
So those are the two things that I will absolutely not budge on is time of year. We're going to sell that. I'm not discounting it. And if you're trying to talk down on price on like a single item that is...
It's like a nice one.
Yeah, that's like an NV, like high-end rim. It's an $800 rim. Right. It's a... No.
Right, because you saw some guy from Thailand... selling one on eBay.
Yeah.
That's the wrong hole count.
Yeah, 28 hole or something.
This is like 24, 20.
18.
And he's trying to sell it as a mountain bike wheel. No.
Yeah. So, middle of the on season. Now, like, okay, a new model year comes out and you're trying to sell the last model year. Totally get that. Middle of winter. Some guys like
M6000. Nice.
What?
When you want to tell me what map is on an M6000? 6000 was a little big. I don't know.
6000. What is? Wait a second. M6000. What is M6000? Derailleur.
It's a Dior.
Yeah, Dior. All right.
Long cage. Yeah.
Dior. What's map on that?
I don't know. It says find a dealer from Shimano. They probably won't list me, even though I spend more with them than a lot of bike shops. But that's okay.
I mean, for the most part, though, like XT, like that mid-range Shimano stuff is gonna be fantastic. Right. You don't need that. If you're coming in and you can't afford the top-end stuff, you're gonna be served just fine with any of the medium level Shimano stuff, and that's what really grinds my gears.
Grinds your gears.
Like, so I made a profile for this customer. I made a little note here. I called him Steve.
Steve.
Sorry, anybody named Steve.
We got Steve on there.
I picked a random name, but Steve drives.
I mean, this customer sounds like a Steve.
This guy drives a 15-year-old luxury model car, and he drives to 3 different bike shops asking for a 10% discount. Like, shops around all the shops.
Yeah.
Wastes $20 in gas to save $10 on a derailleur. And it's like, Come on. And you know what? Like, I have no problem with people looking for a deal. What I have a problem with, is people going to a brick and mortar bike shop trying to find a deal. That's what bugs the hell out of me. You know what? Go to eBay.
Because you're just...
Go online. Almost every manufacturer of anything, electronics, sporting goods, TVs, Samsung TVs, whatever you want. Guess what they have? They sell all their scratch and dent stuff either on their website or on eBay. If you don't care, that's where I buy a ton of my stuff. And I'm not going to go haggle some shop about $20 on a derailleur.
M6000 Dior rear derailleur, MSRP $89.99.
Boom. Answered the question.
Took a second. They don't have map. They just have MSRP. But there you go. Well, let's see what it is out in the world.
Oh, sorry, Steven. You feel attacked. It was just a random name I pulled up.
But he knew.
You know, hold on. Let me go to the next one.
What do we got?
Oh, here's another one. Okay. We'll call this customer Jerry. Jerry. I feel like I could come up with a name. You know what? I want to call this guy Connor. Connor's a young buck.
Yeah, he is. He's got a nice haircut.
He's got a nice haircut.
Hey, of course he does.
He's wholesome.
His job requires him to have a nice haircut.
Because
his dad paid for that college.
No, it's before college. Like this is like Connor. Yeah, Connor's a high school kid. He's got tons of skill. Probably grew up riding BMX, but now he's riding mountain bikes and he's shredding hard. Doesn't have a lot of money. What do we do for Connor?
What do we do for Connor? We give him a job.
Bam!
And we tell him that now that you have a job, you can use the paycheck that you get with your job to buy your components at the discount that employees get.
And you bring him into the vicious cycle of working at a bike shop.
Working in a bike shop where you say, hey, kid, don't do this your whole life. You're stuck anyway.
Yeah.
What do you do for Connor? That's what.
Probably
that's
the same.
That's
probably
what
get him in. Start building bikes.
There's a pair of brothers that I did. They could have afforded it. I mean, they weren't poor, but $110. Wait, is money more in Tennessee?
No, money's less in Tennessee. It is so much cheaper to live in Tennessee. Everyone moved to Tennessee. It's way better for mountain biking.
But he says that costs $110 in Tennessee.
Oh, when he was in Tennessee, it may have. The middle of summer in Tennessee. Yeah.
Damn. I think I've been to Tennessee once.
Knoxville is hot. There's some good.
Probably.
There's some good riding.
Sure it is.
There's some good public parks.
I believe you.
What was that supposed to be?
I don't believe
you. Hand puppet me? I felt attacked like Steve.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just shitting on Tennessee for no reason.
No, Knoxville is actually like a pretty cool kind of DIY vibe.
Okay.
Dude, they built this huge public park with mountain bike trails all going through it. You climb to the top, you come down real fast. There's lots of jumps and turnies and burmies.
Sounds nice.
No, Knoxville was actually really cool. Some of the lowest taxes in the country. Some of the lowest housing prices.
Is only because we're not getting a lot of those cool things in Denver, but yet it's incredibly expensive to live here.
Yeah.
And it's driving me nuts. That's all.
What does a pirate say?
Hey, Ari. Buy an Ari.
What is it? What the pirates say that that had a steering wheel attached to his nuts? It's driving me nuts.
It's driving me nuts.
Yeah. Oh, November in Tennessee. Oh, yes. And Tennessee is a place that you go in spring and fall, not the middle of summer. Actually, winter would be actually good in Tennessee.
Sure.
It can get cold. It can get cold in Tennessee.
But
we're
Denver's
digressing.
real nice in the spring and fall as well.
Yeah, Denver's also very nice.
and also not so shabby in the summer.
Not bad.
So
Not bad.
maybe that's whatever.
We're on
Tennessee.
We went on-
I will stop smooshing diarrhea into Tennessee.
Should you discount labor prices?
Never.
Never. Nope.
No. If you discount labor prices, you're devaluing a human life.
Yeah.
That's how I view it.
Yeah.
Like a person who is, like if they're a mechanic, they're skilled, they have talent, they know what they're doing. They're doing the work to a high quality, and they're getting joy out of it and purpose. They deserve every fucking penny that can be given to them. I say that as a person who discounts his labor all the time. Because it's mine, and when I actually had my store, the disconnect between me and my employees was actually a difficult one, because I wanted so much to protect their work and not discount their labor. But if I did things for people, I gave it away all the time.
Yeah.
And even to today, I'm just like I did a free hip service for a guy yesterday, and I said, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Part of that is because he's cool. He's been my customer for 15 plus years. He'll be back. So I don't need to keep him on the hook for anything. He will be back, and he will spend much money with me.
Now, do you think you've worked up a place where you do some things to help people out because they've been loyal customers?
Yeah, because over time there is, I think, especially on the service end, or especially an independent operator, and a little bit of give and take that can develop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do a free hub service for him. He stood here for 5 minutes. I serviced his Mavic Fria body. It's very quick. Bike shops will want to charge you $30 for it.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, we're fine. But you know what he's going to do? He's got 3 mountain bikes. All 3 of them are going to need full suspension rebuilds, brake bleeds, and stuff in the next month. And I will be seeing them. So yeah, that's fine. And you know, when I give him the bill for each of those, he'll be like, cool.
Yeah. I think
He might even be listening. I don't know.
a universal thing that I found is if you have just met somebody and they are haggling you over price, and there's this idea of they're trying to kind of like...
Is this what modern dating is like? Like if you just meet someone and they're asking you what you bring to the table?
Yeah. Like, what do you bring to the table?
Tell me. What's your 401k like at 21?
Yeah. 401k?
I'm only at $3.99 and so, sorry. Distraction.
So
It's 9:17.
yeah, it's 9:17. So we need to wrap it up.
I know.
No, there is the type of person who wants to kind of push you over. And
Right.
they want to push and push and push to see the price. And honestly, that's not somebody I want to work with.
Well, and this is what we were talking about earlier today, is my experience is having transferred from owning a store to operating out of this space in this garage. Those people who are trying to push you to get what they want, they don't see the connection between you, a person, as an owner of a store, and like the store as a sort of inanimate, like corporate entity. Right? They think they're asking for a discount from the store or like this corporation.
It's not
And
coming
they're
out
not
of your
seeing
wallet.
the discount coming from you. So once I started to operate out of here, like nobody asks me for discounts anymore.
Because they think they're taking money from you.
It's even on the other side where people are like, hey, when they ask how they're supposed to pay for their bills or whatever, they're like, should I pay cash or credit card? Because I can take credit cards, it's fine. But they're like, oh, if I pay cash, you don't have to pay the credit card fees.
Yeah.
Right? That happens all the time now, which is awesome. I love it. Thank you, all of you. But that never happened when I owned the store, the retail store.
Yeah.
Nobody was ever like, well, can I pay you cash so you don't have to pay the credit card fees?
Because it's
you go over to the cash register and you swipe and it's
hey, in and out.
all super, yeah, weird. They don't see the connection between the, and it's the same. I'm the same guy, basically running the same kind of business, just trying to make money and just buy them Jordans for my kids.
Here's
that's all
another
I'm trying to do is
concept.
buy Jordans for my kids.
Another concept I want to bring up. If you are not having, how should I put this? It's an economic, kind of more of an economic question.
Oh, I was going to say daily bowel movement.
Yeah, if you're not having a daily BM, well, you are getting older.
Then might we interest you in Ialized?
Ialized. The new specialized bowel mover. No, the point was, if you're not, this would be more for, I guess, more of the video side of things. Like I work in video production, and
Right.
one of the concepts that's come up is if every job is saying yes, you're not charging enough.
Yeah.
So in a bike shop, if you are charging so little that everyone says, yeah, that's a great deal,
Yeah.
you're not charging enough.
Yeah, no worries.
You should be actually about 50%.
They need to be going,
Yeah.
and then being like, well, you're worth it. You're worth it.
And what I've found working in shops,
But be worth it.
yeah,
That's the first part.
is that like shops don't change their prices. They'll have the same price for 5, 10 years. Like they're charging what a tune-up was, and like especially in Denver, stuff's gotten expensive. Stuff has
So
gotten
expensive.
a lot more expensive, and guess what? Stuff costs more.
All this is leading up to the fact that beginning March 1st, actually, Gingy Cycles is increasing its prices by 1,000%.
Tune-ups are $1,000.
Tune-ups start at $1,000. I did just get a fresh crop of tune-ups in last week, so I have plenty to go around. Bring your bikes in.
Well, he got a special deal from
Tune-Up Central.
well, he got a special deal from a factory in Taiwan that had discount tune-ups.
Yeah.
That
Well-
they backdoored in the gray market to him,
Yeah.
and now he's able to sell them for.
I can sell them to you for
Yeah, and
a
make
little
more
bit.
profit.
Well, they're definitely cheaper than what big corporate stores in Denver are going to be selling them
Yeah.
for. But I got them for a little less, and I'm willing to pass those savings on to you.
So that's one thing is changing prices, and when should you, like, what should you charge? How do you figure that out? And I think as a shop,
Oh, they don't have their prices.
there
listed.
should be a strategy. There should be some type of, you're looking at what other shops are charging. What do you offer? What's different? What makes someone want to come to you versus the other shops?
Should we
What do you
talk-
specialize
Should
in?
we talk next week about bike shop service prices? I've been waiting.
Maybe.
I've been waiting.
I mean, maybe we just talk about it right now.
I mean, it's 9:23.
Yeah, it is about time.
I think bike shop service prices is a bucket of worms.
So I want to get to, I think we covered on premium stuff. If it's current and premium, no negotiating.
If it's labor, go fuck yourself. Do it yourself.
Yeah. Are you
Ruin it.
are you gonna help out your tried and true customers? They return, and maybe they need something quick, and you can just knock it out.
That's a question of what does help out mean,
Yeah.
right? With cost, not normally. But that's
With
up
the
to
free
me.
hub body
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And-
That was free, but like I said, he's gonna bring me 3 mountain bikes in the next at least month, if not 2 months, whatever. So
Yeah. So you help somebody else out that you're gonna see some business from.
Also, just a little love makes the world go round. I'm okay with that.
And before we end the show, I wanted to also say, when you don't get a discount for free, like if you work at a shop,
Correct.
like, okay, you did something nice for somebody because you know they're going to be a loyal customer.
Yeah.
Maybe this is how many years has that customer come into the shop?
That guy?
Yeah.
I have known him since 2009.
So there's an established
15 years now,
rapport. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you've worked on countless
He was my
bikes.
customer when this bike shop was on the other side of this room.
Yeah. Like over there?
Yeah.
Like where the
See-
camera is?
See that pegboard over there?
Yeah. Oh. You never took the pegboard down?
No, because it's not painted behind it. So
My point is there's no free discounts.
lunch. Oh, discounts, yes.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're going to help customers that come back
Yeah.
over and over again. Like, oh, you have a small problem, I'll knock it out for you. If somebody comes in and asks for a discount, like, I think there's other ways where you, like, an email sign-up list or,
Yeah.
or, hey, if you do a Google review on our shop, dude, reviews are awesome, especially Google ones. Sure, I'll give you a 10% discount for a Google review.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that, but I
Don't
will
tell
totally
Google, don't
gain.
advertise to Google.
Yeah,
that you
don't
did
tell
that.
Google that. Don't. I mean, this is
They'll
going.
send their fucking leg breakers after you.
Yeah, this is going on Google, but don't tell them. But like, there's incentives that you can give. That can be put out there. Maybe you put a social media post. Maybe that's worth something. What is it worth to you?
Fact is, anybody, yeah, you're right. Anybody
Yeah.
who's asking for a deal at a certain level realizes that some reciprocity is at play.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, I'll do that for you if you take the trash out for a week. Connor. No, but yeah,
Usually
if
the
you
young
you
kids-
know what, if you leave us a good Google review, great. If you give us a decent little periodic shout out on your social media, that can be fine as well.
Yeah.
Not great, but you got to have at least
15,000
15,000
followers.
followers, yeah.
At least
Fine.
as many followers as this channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe, hit the like. It's the little hand that kind of looks like it's wearing a glove that's going like
Yeah.
this. Hit that. Punch that fucking hand. And join us next week where we talk about something else. Maybe bike shop
Yeah.
prices. We'll see.
Leave a little comment in there.
If you have something you want us to talk about, because you probably do. Everybody wants to know what we think. Two white guys with opinions right
Yeah.
here.
We
let
like
us
to
know.
party. Yeah, and so I think I want to close it out with you are a business, you're in a market, prices go up and down.
Yeah.
You kind of have to figure out what you want to sell, but then you also have things like dealer agreements that you have to adhere to.
True.
That, like, you don't set the price for a lot of things. That price is set so everyone down the
Someone
chain
else.
makes money.
Yeah.
Because
Because
this wasn't
everybody
made
needs
up.
to stay in business.
yeah, like
You, the other
Yep.
shop in town, but also all those other shops in the other parts of the country that are serving people who are cooler than you.
yeah,
Yeah.
super cool. And so to kind of sum it all up, you gotta work it because like prices fluctuate, people negotiate. I'm not against negotiating, but understand what you're kind of walking into. If you're walking
Yeah.
into a small or medium sized shop that is independently owned, like one location, kind of like our friend here, Jason, you know, small, medium sized shop, like that is the worst person to negotiate with because they are just making ends meet a lot of
Well,
times.
and most of them are there because they love this sport and they love this industry, and they're doing this work kind of out of that love and out of that passion, and that makes for a difficult like, you know, balanced business-minded person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, bike shop
Because
owners.
that person can easily be, like we talked before, manipulated by saying, "Hey, yeah, can you just give me a deal?" And you get me feeling happy one day, wanting to be nice, wanting other people to ride stuff, wanting to make a sale, but also like just wanting to, you know, get what you can. being like, yeah, I'll give you a deal.
Yeah, like
I think it's almost easier to say I'll give you the deal than to do the argumentation or the negotiation.
yeah, and that's what kind
So
of
be
what.
nice to that kind of person.
Well, I think people understand, 100% understand that they can put you in an uncomfortable situation and they get the deal.
Because
they know that they can push that button.
This was always the frustration that I felt was like, you're making me be the bad guy.
Yeah, and you
right?
just say
I'm
no.
the one who has to say no. I'm the one who has to be the jerk, and you're just like nothing, right? You're just a person in the store, and I'm the one who has to be like, sorry, I won't do something for you.
And it is 100% okay to set boundaries and say no. And that's actually one of the first bike shop owners I worked for is if somebody's asking for a discount, they want it. And all you have to do is say no.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's something I struggle with as well because I did not come up wealthy. And I came up in a household where, this is where we get into the bicycle therapy part about an hour and a half in.
Right? If you can stick with us long enough,
yeah.
we've drank enough, we've talked enough.
Yeah, but I came up not wealthy. And so I thought if I charge people more, that I was putting them in a bad place.
Right.
But I also did not understand at a younger age. Like, you know, I started working at a bike shop at 15.
You have no idea what adults made for money.
Yeah, and like the idea of making $60,000 is freaking mind-blowing.
Right.
To me at that age.
Yeah.
And you know, the fact that like a lot of people that come into bike shops that want to buy a $5,000 or a $10,000 bikes make
a lot more than that.
A lot more. And guess what they have? Disposable income, and it's okay to charge prices.
Yep. Or they're okay with extra debt. Not your problem.
That is, you are an adult and you have to figure out your debt situation. Yep. So like I had a hard time saying no a lot of the times, but then I learned that there are some people who just love to push that button to see what they can get away with.
Yep.
And you have to say no and set that boundary.
It's true.
And this is why a lot of bike shop employees and owners drink, is because of you.
Exactly.
No, I'm joking.
No. And the only reason I drink
people get
now
cynical.
is because of you. So
yeah. Thanks,
Tuesday
Dad.
nights only.
But this is why people get so frustrated. I think it's a two-part thing of don't sell with your wallet.
Right.
You know, like don't sell with your wallet. Like, dude, for most of my time in the bike shop, I made less than $30,000 a year.
Right.
I'm not sure why. I'm learning now why. But
well, I had a bike shop job offer retracted because I asked for $30,000. So yeah,
I had a friend who, this was probably 2017.
Okay.
So not too long ago.
Not too long. Yeah.
Went into a shop that is closed now, the Bicycle Cafe in Denver, and he was asking for, I think it was like $16 an hour. And the manager laughed at him and said the interview was over. Like, laughed at his face. Like, kind of just was like,
wow.
Oh, I don't think this is going to work out.
Bonkers.
And so that's like closed. The bike industry. I think it's changed, especially through COVID. I think a lot of people got burned out and just dropped out of the bike world. I've known some owners are just like, they sold all of their inventory and shut down because it's like, this is the time to get out.
Sold it.
Yeah. And it just, just dealing with some of these things is what makes working in a bike shop difficult. Don't haggle. I mean, if you want to haggle, go to like, I don't know, what's a chain store? Performance is closed.
Just buy stuff that you know you can afford. Like, that's it. Like, can I afford what they're asking for this? Yes, buy it. Done.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want to live in a dream world. Those people, the people who are going to haggle are still out there. I don't have to deal with them as much in my current situation, but That's fine.
Yeah, you can always say no. It's like, dude, if they're asking for a discount, they want it, and all you have to do is say no, and they're gonna leave.
Dude, and then you've denied them something, and it makes them want to come back for more.
Yeah, like
Dude,
it actually
it's reverse psychology.
once, dude,
stuff.
it is 100% reverse psychology because when you say no, when you kind of stand up and
Like,
say,
but-
no, we believe in what we sell and this is the price. Yeah, and if they just walk out like ticked off, then whatever, dude.
Fine,
Whatever.
fine. See ya.
I think the other thing that people find themselves in is being like in the slow season and wanting to make a sale.
Sure.
I want to touch on that briefly, but
Yeah.
like, I think there's that part of it too. Is like, it's February, and it's been crickets, and somebody kind of comes in and kicks the tires and like, well, what are you gonna do for me?
Right.
You know, and you're like, dude, I would be happy to sell anything.
I will take anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And what people should be doing is bringing their bicycles in for full tune-ups.
During the slow time.
Yeah.
Because then you get a quicker turnaround time.
You know what? Because tune-ups don't wear out.
They also subsidize the discounts that are being given on the sales floor.
Boom.
Different episode,
Different episode.
but
But I think we've answered, should bike shops match online? Did we answer it?
we answered it. Obviously, the answer is it depends. Generally, no. A few instances where maybe, and that's it.
Maybe. But
Yeah.
it's business. It's negotiating. It's fluctuating prices. It's
Yeah, probably one of the closest. I had a guy this last winter, around Christmas. He wanted to switch over from mechanical shifting on his mountain bike to the wireless access stuff from SRAM.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, it's this price from X online seller. And it was cheaper. I said, yeah, I can get it. I can get it from my company, from a local warehouse. And I made the deal for him. He's a good customer. And part of the reason I did was I knew that I would order the right thing. And I could have it shipped directly to me, and I knew what I was getting was going to fit on his bike. It was going to be the correct thing. Because, like, yes, it's a possibility that he would get it was the same thing. But when you leave it up to the customer, there's always a chance they'll screw it up. And so, avoid that. So,
I love this comment from Steven. Gingy's increasing prices. Thanks, Biden.
I know, right?
That's a good one.
Actually, yes. Thank you, Biden.
Yeah.
Now I can get the oil changed.
Oh.
Now I can get the oil changed in the Pizzati.
Guess what I did? I went to
I have no idea.
I went to a press conference with RFK. I was standing right next to him. We asked some hard-hitting questions about crypto.
Oh, I was hoping you asked him whether or not bike shops should match online prices.
Actually, I think he would say no.
He would definitely say no.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would definitely be in the vein of like the market will work itself out if you don't do that.
Well, if I could say this to my younger self is learn about markets. Like there is a market, there are prices. It
Yeah,
fluctuates.
like the farmers market in Cherry Creek is
Yep.
decent, but like the farmers
you're trying
market
to find-
in Platt Park is not great actually. It's,
Yeah.
So
Well,
is that not what we're talking about?
sometimes market, like if you went to the Cherry Creek market and potatoes were, $2.50, but you went to the Colfax market and potatoes were $1.99.
Oh, like at
where would
Esplanade,
you?
Yes.
Yeah. So prices. I guess my point is there are commodities, and there
Yes.
are services, and are you trying to be a commodity or
Yeah.
a service? How do you value
Just
yourself?
trying to make the world go round, man.
Yeah, it's economics, and prices fluctuate.
They do. They go boom, 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 boom,
Boom, boom, boom, boom, boom, boom, boom. But
And,
never discount your labor.
Don't devalue yourself as a human,
Yeah,
as I do all the time.
yeah.
Which is why this is bicycle therapy. Why do I devalue myself so much?
Do as we say, not as we do.
I give myself away too often.
Because you want to help people.
I just do it too much.
Because you want to help people. We got into this because you like riding bikes, you want to share that experience, and you want to help people. And there are some customers that come in and just say, boom, 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 do it, make it right. And we love those. We love you. And then we got some people who are kind of like, hey, man, like, that's a little pricey.
We went from 6 to 2 in the last few minutes. We've gone overtime.
Oh, yeah, way overtime.
Way overtime. It's
but
9:40. That's an hour 40. This is one of our longer ones.
This is a long one.
Sorry, guys.
It's a big subject. So, economics 101.
Yeah, buddy.
Supply and demand. Prices fluctuate.
Wiggly charts.
Charts. If your bike shop doesn't have a some type of graph that's going up and down, you're like, XTR Deralis, they're going up.
It's time to bounce.
No one's buying Eagle. Let's jump in. Or XX.
Transmission.
I thought of a bar.
We need to go. Okay.
I thought of a bar.
Yeah.
It's called the stock market, and all of the drink prices fluctuate on what people are ordering. So if people order a lot of Coors, the price of Coors goes up. And you're like, but check out.
When we're done here, Google Wendy's
I know, that's
pricing.
Yes. So
right.
pricings fluctuate. I think it's interesting. But my point with that is those prices that a bike shop puts in there are kind of fixed.
True.
So,
at least for the time. You know what else is fixed?
Bedtime.
Yeah. Let's all go to bed. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We're sorry we went long. We're really not sorry.
No. Watch it. Have fun.
Cares?
Like, share, subscribe. Feel free, if you're watching this after the live stream, to leave a comment on what you'd like us to talk about next week. And man, my neck is getting red. Look at how
my beard is getting red. How does that happen?
It's been like that.
That's so, I don't get it.
Good night, everybody.